What's up? What is up? What is up, guys? We got some serious stuff to kind of like talk about with you guys. Very serious stuff. Not every day I do a video like this. I mean, a stream like this. But I figured it'd be a good idea to be informative in terms of what's going on with YouTube, and I want to share my concerns with you all and explain why it's so important to follow me on my various forms of social media. So I'm really going to need you guys to hear me out on this. But anyway, what's going on? I just wanted to say hello to everyone. What's going on there? Greenlight Productions, X-Grown, Electro. Now I know the Devontae PC, Greenlight, Fun Nightmare PC, CD in the house. What is going on? I know there's probably some latency with my webcam or whatnot, so I'm working on that as because I learned that with this webcam that I have right now, I literally have to mess around with the numbers a little bit and change it. So that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm changing to 700. Let me know if the webcam latency is gone. It should be. I honestly need to get a new I feel like getting a new webcam would get rid of all these issues, to be honest. But let me know if the when the audio, the webcam is synced up properly, because I know it isn't right now. I'm actually working on fixing that. Alright, webcam is now GG. Okay, good. So apparently this trick that I learned, I mastered. Okay, good. So now I know what to do. So the number is 700, but what I have to do is change it one time and then change it back to 700, and the audio should be solid. So now I think I might not have to worry about buying a webcam anymore. I just gotta do this stuff and get used to that. So, alright, I'm going to be preparing a video. I don't necessarily like the idea of using another content creator's video to discuss something with you all, but Mr. Butt, this is a very crucial discussion that we're going to be having here. Probably the realest of the real, in terms of what I have learned, and I want to share this with you all. Is this it? I don't know if that's it or not. I'm trying to pull it up, because this is a very informational video by Markiplier that I'm going to be using for this discussion. Trying to see if I could get the footage up here. Yeah. Thank you, CD. I appreciate that, buddy. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong here. I think I used the wrong thingy, so I'm gonna use this one. Alright, so okay, I don't think that's it. Video. Let's see. Okay, there we go. That was actually easier than I thought. I made it harder than it needs to be. So, yes, we're going to dissect this. Yeah, I know I'm going to watch out for copyright, but I honestly don't care. It's not like I monetize my streams anyway. It's probably risky doing that, no joke, but it's not like I'm trying to monetize off of this. This is more like a stream that's about sharing vital information that everyone has to know. And he made a lot of really good points about this entire situation. So I really want to stress the importance of what he's talking about here. This is like crucial. So no, I'm nowhere not like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna talk about this, but I'm gonna give you a bit of an introduction right now. The issue that I'm discussing right now is about Google Plus. What's happening with Google Plus right now? Hey, what is up there, Ali? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, my dude. Yeah, it's kind of more like fair use. You got a good point on that. So why don't we go ahead and get into this critical discussion? And I will answer questions. I will talk with you guys for a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm not trying to avoid the chat. So Google Plus is going, not now, but next year during the month of August, Google Plus is going to be eliminated from YouTube. Now, this is a really bad thing because when Google Plus was released sometime back in 2014, Google Plus actually forced content creators to sign up for that program, which is Google Plus. They wanted them to sign up to the Google Plus application. And so as a result of that, YouTube is now linked to Google Plus. What's going on there, the Mr. Cookie God and John Wesley? How you doing, my dude? Welcome to the stream. So that's kind of like the introductory piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the video made by a very influential content creator of YouTube, and he's none other than Markiplier. He's highly influential. He knows a lot about YouTube, and he understands the potential issue regarding the removal of Google Plus from YouTube. So he brought up many great points about that viewers and content creators alike should not ignore. And I'm going to go through the video and kind of help break down the key points with you all. And this should answer that question that I'm sure some of you would ask. Why do I need to follow you on Twitter, Discord, and Twitch? Why do you have to do that? And this stream is going to break all of that down for you, because YouTube actually has been falling into a dark place for quite some time. And we're going to go ahead and get into this starting right now. So let's get started with this. So here we go, guys. Let me turn up the volume a little bit so you can hear. I might mute myself so you guys don't hear the echo or whatever. And then I'll unmute when I'm about to speak. So let's listen to the homie Markiplier.
Talking about, oh, YouTube should listen. So some of you may have noticed that there's a problem with YouTube today. And I'm not just talking about, oh, YouTube should listen to its creators more, oh, they should do XYZ differently. I am talking about a fundamental problem with the website itself. And this isn't just about me. I'm not making this video because I think that I'm being unfairly treated in any way, shape, or form. And if anything, I'm in a really good position, but this is affecting a lot of people, and I think the reason for it needs to be brought into light. Now, if you were paying attention to YouTube, you probably noticed that last Tuesday on October 16th, the website went down. Worldwide, for 2 hours, it went down, which has never really happened in YouTube before, and a lot of people wanted to know why, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I know exactly why, and it all comes down to one culprit. Google Plus. And I'm not just using Google Plus as a scapegoat, and it's easy to do that because it's a terrible thing that was forced on all of YouTube for no particular reason other than Google wanted to. To give you a little history on Google Plus and why it's so deeply ingrained in YouTube, you have to go back to 2014 when Google decided that it was going to be mandatory for creators on YouTube to get a Google Plus account. You had to
I was muted. I forgot I was muted. Okay, thank you guys for telling me that. So welcome to the stream there, Potato Chip. Mods, make sure to let people know what's going on so I don't have to keep reiterating myself. What is up, Tara? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. What is up, Style? Kuma's World, how are you guys? The mods will help keep you up to speed with what's going on as of right now. So what I'm going to do, I need you guys to pay close attention to this piece that I'm going to share with you right now, and then I'm going to pause it when I get to that part, and I'm going to break down some of the things that he said a little bit. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them when I make time to answer those questions, but make sure you listen closely to this part because this is some big stuff here. Okay, so get yourselves ready, okay? Here we go. I'm going to mute myself again, and then when I pause it, we'll get back into the
tie your YouTube channel in, and Google decided that it was going to be mandatory for creators on YouTube wanted to. To give you a little history on Google Plus and why it's so deeply ingrained in YouTube, you have to go back to 2014 when Google decided that it was going to be mandatory for creators on YouTube to get a Google Plus account. You had to tie your YouTube channel in to Google Plus no matter what. It didn't matter if the service was good or that they cared about natural growth. They wanted to force it down people's throats so that they could have a Facebook competitor. Now, this isn't about the morals of Google Plus being integrated into YouTube. That's not what this video is about, and frankly, I'm not the best to even argue about that. I'm telling you this to emphasize how deep this really went.
Okay, we're gonna pause it right there. This is a big part. Here's a big part to that. I want to pause it right there to break down what he was talking about when it came to Facebook. If you really think about it, you know, YouTube, Twitter, all of that is still a business. That's one thing that you do have to keep in mind. Even though those are social media pieces that we use, there's still competition. So I will repeat that again. When it comes to social media and various applications, there's always going to be competition. And so with what? Are you serious right now? I can't even. Hashtag it up for Kuma's World. Wow, I'm doing a serious discussion and I get hit with that. I don't know if the notification is being heard right now. I don't even know if it went up. That's kind of weird. Oh, there it is. It was a bit late. Yeah, I feel you though. At least you got Discord green light, so that's going to help you out a lot. So let me go ahead and get into what I was talking about. So when it comes to social media and applications, there's always going to be some kind of form of competition. And back then, Facebook was thriving. It was extremely popular back then. And Google itself, Google wanted to be able to compete with Facebook. So, what better way than to compete with Facebook by using YouTube to accomplish that goal? And to add more relevance to what I'm talking about, think about it. Not only that, why do you have Google AdSense being put on, being connected to YouTube? Then on top of that, think about how YouTube actually did the following. Remember how there was a bunch of third-party partnerships that content creators could be a part of? There was like a lot of partnerships, like the one that I used to be a part of. I used to be a part of Curse. And the thing is, Curse actually took care of me in terms of like the revenue that I get and all the donations that I got, all of that stuff. They wind up only taking 10% of that, which is very little. But once again, this was kind of like Google's way of manipulating the playing field, because now it was like YouTube was kind of forced in a position where they literally had to drop these guys in order to gain more profit. So once again, there is business tied into all these applications. So back to the point of back to the point of Facebook. Google wanted to use YouTube to keep up with Facebook because Facebook was thriving. So I'm going to start playing the video again, and I'm going to go ahead and get into that, and thank you all for the positivity in the chat. I'm going to mute again, and then we're going to listen to another key point that's very important. So why don't we go ahead and get into this?
To see how much of YouTube even argue about that. I'm telling you this to emphasize how deep this really went. To see how much of YouTube had Google Plus embedded inside of it. It came down to every single programmer being incentivized to integrate Google Plus as much as they could. They had bonuses implemented into Google Plus so that programs would be rewarded the more they were able to force it into YouTube's code. And with that in mind, that leads into today, because before the crash on YouTube,
Give me one moment. There's something happening. Hold up. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, PC. Okay. We're gonna start again. Let me make sure this thing is up. Oh, there is no screen. What in the world? Yeah, there really was no screen. Oh yeah, there really was no screen. Okay. What's up with this thing? Oh. What? Rip. I forgot. I forgot. Okay, we're going to rewind it for a second.
They had bonuses implemented into Google Plus so that programs would be rewarded the more they were able to force it into YouTube's code. And with that in mind, that leads into today. Because before the crash on YouTube, on October 8th, I believe, it was announced that Google Plus was shutting down completely because of some embarrassing privacy leaks. Google didn't want to be exposed to regulations, so they shut it down completely to try to avoid any fanfare about it. And in doing so, they have fundamentally crippled YouTube. So And with that in mind, that leads into today, because before the incentivized to integrate Google Plus as much as they could. They had bonuses implemented into Google Plus so that programs would be rewarded the more they were able to force it into YouTube's code. And with that in mind, that leads into today, because before the crash on YouTube on October 8th, I believe, it was announced that Google Plus was shutting down completely because of some embarrassing privacy leaks. Google didn't want to be exposed to regulations, so they shut it down completely to try to avoid any fanfare about it. And in doing so, they have fundamentally crippled YouTube. So Google Plus isn't dead yet, but it started the process of shutting down. As they're shutting down Google Plus, it is breaking more and more things inside of YouTube. And these things are still broken, and they're getting worse. Now it's almost a meme at this point that people are like, my videos aren't going out to sub boxes, but now it's actually a problem. Across the board, a lot of YouTubers are seeing a 30 to 40% dip in the number of initial viewers and prolonged viewers. Suggested videos aren't working properly. People aren't getting their notifications properly. There's a lot of different recipes that are causing problems.
Okay. All right, now we're going to bring up another essential point. I'm going to kind of like break down some of the things that Markiplier just mentioned. Because I'm telling you right now, the things that he said there was huge. So, like what he said here, because of October 8th of this year, like he said, before the crash, you know, that YouTube crash that happened back in October 16th, that 2-hour crash that everybody was complaining about. He said, before the crash, Google Plus shut themselves down for damage control. Now, when I say damage control, what I mean is basically Google Plus shut themselves down to protect themselves from damaging leaks, which could lead to a lot of negative talk going down about them, like a lot of negative talk about what went down. So they wanted to avoid that by just shutting Google Plus down altogether. They didn't want those leaks to be out in the public eye. And since YouTube is now linked to Google Plus, it actually messed up YouTube because of the fact that Google Plus was actually shut down completely. So, because YouTube is now linked to Google Plus, if Google Plus goes down, then YouTube is going to go down with it, in a way. Sounds familiar, doesn't it, though? If you really think about it. I mean, YouTube can't fix all of its problems, and this has been going on for a few years now. Think about all the things everyone was complaining about. Content not appearing in sub boxes, people getting unsubbed from their favorite creators by YouTube itself. I can even confirm that there have been content creators that I never unsubscribed to, but YouTube just unsubscribed me from them. What is going on, pretty brown ass? How you doing? Not getting notifications, constant demonetization issues, YouTube purges, you name it, it happened. I mean, and I'm telling you, who's seen the monkey all the time? You know that monkey that's supposed to fix YouTube all the time? I've seen that monkey a lot of times. That monkey hammering on those zeros and ones. I've seen them all the time. Even when I'm looking through my, YouTube Studios, sometimes I would, that one PC. Sometimes I would randomly get a random message for no reason saying that I can't use YouTube or I can't look at my video manager because something's going on. It happened one too many times, and because of the fact that YouTube is a part of Google Plus, YouTube can't really fix all of that. They can barely fix anything. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is shut my mouth again, and then we're gonna continue the video a little bit, and then I'm going to share, make some more connections with what Markiplier just mentioned, because he shared a lot of stuff that now makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna go ahead and look back to that. Give me a moment. Mute.
Notifications properly. There's a lot of different recipes that are causing problems. It's not enough that it's 30% dip in the number of initial viewers and prolonged viewers. Suggested videos aren't working properly. People aren't getting their notifications properly. There's a lot of different recipes that are causing problems. It's not enough that it's completely broken, but it's enough to create a noticeable difference and an impact on the bottom line of a lot of YouTubers. Just to show you how deep this actually goes, if I go into my channel here, if this is basically my channel, the back end of my creator studio where I manage all my videos, there are certain pages in here that just don't actually work. If I click on these pages in here, some of them take up to a minute to load, some don't load at all, they just break. And I've told them about this and they still haven't gotten back to me. And I think the reason is because they don't know how to fix it. And I think that's the main problem with YouTube right now. The problem is so big because Google Plus was so deeply integrated into YouTube, they have no idea how to separate it out at this point. So here's my guess in what happened. They pushed a code change on Tuesday that caused all of YouTube to crash. They reverted the change, and now they're trying to analyze exactly what happened, and because it's so big, they're going to be very slow about it. And the worst thing about it is that this wouldn't be nearly as big a problem if YouTube actually communicated that there was a problem. You can't just pretend that there's nothing wrong on the platform. For people like me, those who are high up on the platform, I don't really have a problem with it because I can weather these issues month to month. But there's a lot of creators out there that can't, that really rely on this on a day-to-day basis. And as much as this is a fun job to have, as much as it's cool to entertain people,
Okay, we're back again. So I wanted to pause at that point because he brought up some very incredible points that, that has to be reiterated or broken down. And so I'm going to talk about those points now. The fact that he said that Google Plus now this is what his thoughts was. Got you there, cool Ninja Rex. Got you, buddy. So, Google Plus did a code change that negatively affected YouTube. And YouTube can't really do anything about it because the changes was made by Google Plus. Google noticed the damage that was caused due to what they did, whatever that is. And they decided to reverse those changes in order to get YouTube up and running again. So why do you think YouTube got shut down worldwide for 2 hours? It was shut down for 2 hours. Markiplier mentioned that was the first time that has ever happened. And all of a sudden, after those few hours is up, YouTube is back up. There had to be something that Google Plus has done to cause that 2 hour shutdown of YouTube, period. No one could use anything for 2 hours. That's definitely not a good sign. And think about it, it's not much of a coincidence because before that, Markiplier just said that Google Plus mentioned that they had to shut down Google Plus. They wanted to avoid the leaks that was spewing out. And so that inadvertently messed with YouTube. And because of that fact, YouTube can't really correct it as much as they want to. They just can't. The problems are too big because of because of the amount of control that Google Plus now has. So now it's like Google Plus is slowly trying to tweak it. And I gotta say this. I gotta give big ups to Markiplier for that one. How he was mentioning how YouTube has been covering it up everything. You know how they would always say that they're going to fix it, and basically every attempt to fix it is failed. And then, I mean, and to add validity to what I'm saying, I can't get through one entire week on Twitter without seeing a single tweet regarding a complaint on YouTube. Like, there's always a complaint. I cannot get through an entire week without one single YouTube complaint. And these are complaints coming from creators. They're not really going to come from the viewers that much because they don't understand all the behind the scenes stuff. So, I mean, with that said, nothing has been fixed. I mean, YouTube would try to, but they really can't. I mean, think of it like this. Let me give you this metaphor, right? It's like what YouTube is doing is kind of like using medicine to mask the cold, but the medicine doesn't get rid of it. That's a YouTube situation right now. It's like they'll say we'll fix it. They'll make some attempts, but it doesn't really cure it. You still have the purges. You still have the lack of notifications. You still have the... Oh, you still have quite a few issues. It's not gone. It's like it's not completely gone. They could solve it, or they may fix it temporarily, but it's nothing but a band-aid. And so, like Markiplier just said, the only channels that can actually, like he said, weather the storm or get through the tough times is creators that's high on the spectrum. Creators like Markiplier, PewDiePie, all of those guys, they can weather those storms. You know, they don't, because they have the number, you know, they have those insane numbers, and they're pretty much up there. So it doesn't really hurt them as much. But when it comes to the people that aren't at that level, I mean, they're going to be the ones suffering, especially if there's creators that's doing well, but they have to rely on YouTube day to day just to make it. And that would negatively impact them in a severe way. Now, I will say this. Creators with a strong community, they can survive the stuff like notifications, the lack of notifications, the minor hiccups that YouTube has. I'm living proof of that. You know, those things don't really hurt me because of my community. My community helps get me through that. But what happens if the separation of Google Plus takes half of my community with it? You know, like, that's where the problem lies. Without my community, my channel suffers immensely, especially with the algorithms, and you have to keep your numbers up or else YouTube is not going to recommend your channel, and then that brings you down even more. It like hurts you that much more. What's up, Ellie? How you doing? I see you. I'm just talking right now. And so that's where we're at right now. It's a dangerous situation for content creators. Even content creators with a strong community, because if we lose a big chunk of our community because of this separation from Google Plus, well, we're up the creek without a paddle. And there's going to be a lot of problem areas that we're going to have to fight through. And that's why it's so important for you guys to follow me on my multiple forms of social media. Twitter, Discord, especially Twitch. Because, well, I don't have those issues on Twitch. When it comes to notifications, when it comes to like the Twitch servers staying up and up to date and all of that. Twitch is really good. Twitch is really good with that, and they treat their content creators like they should, like people, and they deserve that. And so now what I'm gonna do is pause and mute myself again, and I am going to play the rest of Markiplier's video, and then you guys could hear exactly some of the stuff that I just spoke to you about as of right now. So give me a second. Mute my
There are people that now rely on this, rely on the consistency of it. The sad truth is that we are called partners with a lot of creators out there that can't, that really problem. You can't just pretend that there's nothing wrong on the platform. For people like me, those who are high up on the platform, I don't really have a problem with it because I can weather these issues month to month. But there's a lot of creators out there that can't, that really rely on this on a day-to-day basis. And as much as this is a fun job to have, as much as it's cool to entertain people, there are people that now rely on this, rely on the consistency of it. The sad truth is that we are called partners with YouTube, but we're not partners. We're less than employees. YouTube doesn't actually care about its creators. And I'm not saying that in a very oh, the world's ending, YouTube doesn't care about us. They legitimately don't, because they can't. Or at least they don't have the system in place to do so. They can want it, they can hope for it, but until they put the system in place that actually gives benefit towards its creators, nothing's going to change. People are still going to suffer. There's still going to be this negative attitude towards YouTube because they rely on code and algorithm as opposed to real people interacting with the real people who are making content on this platform. And until they treat the humans that are making the content with humans that are supporting the content, it'll never work. I might be wrong about the specific reason, but that doesn't change the fact that there is a problem with YouTube. And it doesn't change the fact that YouTube won't tell us that there's a problem. If YouTube is going to be a place where creators can thrive and people can make whatever content they want, then you got to start treating us like people. All of us. If we really matter, show us that we matter. And even for someone like me, who gets preferential treatment on these things, I'm still kept in the dark about it. I have to tell them about the problems with their own platform that they refuse to respond to me about. And if they treat me this way, what do they do to people that have less subscribers than me? It's not okay. It's really, honestly, truly not okay. They shoved Google Plus down the throats of everybody on this platform, and now people are suffering from it because they don't see this platform as a place for creativity to thrive. They see it as a tool to push their agenda. And that's fine. They own it. It's their right. But we help build it. So anyway, let me know down in the comments if you've seen other issues with the platform, if you've seen other issues on YouTube. Try to keep it not so much about the morals of it and try to keep it down to the technical issues that are happening right now. We've got technical problems that need technical answers. Communication is an issue, and hopefully that'll get fixed soon. But for right now, let's try to fix a problem. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. So some of you may have noticed that there's a
So, I mean, you heard it from Markiplier, guys. You heard it from him. He said a lot of things that made a lot of sense. Apparently I have to fix that, so I guess Nightbot is being a little... I have to fix that. So many changes over the period of time. What, it's wrong? It's not the right one? Oh, is it like the old one? Is it like the old one or something? Oh, it's linked the old one. Crap. Well, I have to fix that. So, I will do that. So, the things that Markiplier said, it just made a lot of sense. Like, the mega channels, those really big channels, like... They don't have to worry about that problem. But the smaller channels, if something crazy happens with YouTube because of this thing where Google Plus gets detached from YouTube, no one knows what on earth could happen. No one knows what happened. Like PewDiePie, Markiplier, those guys, they would not, they won't really feel the full blunt of that because of their position. But in terms of people of smaller size, I don't really like to say the word smaller size channel or anything like that, but that's just kind of the reality of the situation. Basically, someone like less than 10K, let's just say something like that, someone less than 100K for all, for all that. Anyone below that, okay, got you. So anyone below 10 mil, they're gonna be impacted. A huge impact. Especially if they lose half of their community or the half of the people that watch them. Especially if they lose a lot of the people that are very active on their channels. You know what I mean? So it's a situation that a content creator cannot ignore. I'm not trying to force my opinion on the matter down any content creator's throats. I'm not trying to force this stuff down viewers' throats. Like, you better follow. Well, it's not a matter of forcing you. It's a matter of letting you know if you do not want to miss out on anything, you have to follow me on on Twitter, Discord, especially Twitch. Just like that whole incident that happened back on October 16th. What do you think happened? What on earth do you think happened? It was down for 2 hours. There was like worldwide panic amongst content creators and even the viewers. They're like, oh snap, YouTube is down. Is it going to be going forever? I don't know. Is it going to be 2 hours, 3 hours, 24 hours? Nobody really knew, but everyone knew that, oh crap, we're in a bad spot right now. And despite that happening, I was able to keep the streams going over on Twitch because Twitch doesn't have that issue. Twitch is not linked to any other organization to where, like, if something happens to that org, Twitch goes down. Twitch is always up. Twitch is always supporting their content creators. They're always providing tools. And here's the crazy thing about Twitch, right? Even for the people that are not partnered, and people that become affiliates, they still get support from Twitch because they get a lot of different tools that they can use to help improve their streams in different ways. So I'm just letting you know that there's a huge difference in customer service when it comes to Twitch and YouTube. YouTube's customer service is nowhere near decent. It's as bad as those, like, those automated phone messages. Whereas with Twitch, you always get constant support and feedback. Now, it's not like all of the blame goes to YouTube per se, because Google Plus is one of the major reasons as to why YouTube struggles, but it doesn't help that YouTube is constantly trying to hide stuff. So that's the thing that I wanted to keep in mind. I wanted to share with you all. I can't trust Google Plus. When that goes down, like when that whole thing goes down next year, I can't trust that. Like Google Plus, I can't trust it. And more than likely, I hate to say it, but there will be a time where sometime next year that I'm going to have to make the transition over to over the Twitch. Now, I'm not saying I'm doing that right now. I'm not doing that right now. I'm still more active on YouTube than anything. And I wish I didn't have to do this because I love YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube is the thing that I've been making content on for the longest time. And now I'm like in this situation where I'm like, oh crap. Now I have to watch my butt, because if I don't do something and I sit here thinking, oh, everything's gonna be fine, YouTube is gonna repair itself, that's not gonna happen. I honestly don't know who's calling me, but I have to answer that later because I'm in the middle of this huge discussion. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not quitting YouTube or nothing like that right now. I'm going to stick with YouTube as long as I can. But that's the only thing I can say at this point. I can't trust that whole separation of Google Plus and YouTube. I can't trust that. I just can't. As a content creator, I have to be mindful of what's happening. You know, as a content creator anyway. I have to be mindful of these things. Because if I don't, it can come back to bite me. Big time. So, oh, thank you. So that's where we're at. That's why I have to do these things. Yeah, I did explain that. But I will reiterate that. In terms of, like, subscriber purges, the purge could be massive with this breakup with Google Plus. It could be huge. Because think of it this way. Okay, all these profiles that's all these YouTube accounts that's attached to Google Plus. The fact that YouTube itself cannot hold its own in terms of fixing these issues, it's going to be a mass effect. It's going to be a trickle down effect where the moment that Google Plus gets removed, there could be a huge purge. I don't know how huge, but there is a probability that there will be a massive purge that could come along with that. Meaning like I could lose half of my community in less than an hour. The moment that Google Plus is moved away from YouTube, or YouTube pulls itself away from Google Plus. There's no one knows the negative impact that could have. The fact that moment when YouTube shut down shortly after Google Plus shut itself down to prevent the leak, all of YouTube was shut down entirely. So imagine what could happen if Google Plus is removed from YouTube. You never know what's removed. That's the thing. That's the troubling part. Now, I would tell you this. If YouTube was able to fix all of its problems, like the purges, the unsubscribing of people, if it was able to fix its notification issues on its own, if they was able to handle those problems in its entirety versus just putting temporary band-aids on those problems, then I would be more inclined to stick with YouTube. But this whole thing can hurt a lot of content creators. And it's huge. It's massive. I mean, even when I look at that whole thing about how Google AdSense is now linked to Google Plus, and people have to get their pay from YouTube through AdSense, which is linked to Google Plus. And if you tell me that that nothing could happen when YouTube gets pulled from AdSense, oh, something's gonna happen, because Google AdSense, it keeps all of your revenue. So if YouTube is pulled from that, think of Google AdSense being chopped off like a rope. It's detached from YouTube now. How are they going to reclaim all of that in a short amount of time? That's literally gonna mess with a lot of content creators. That's huge. I mean, imagine your wallet being tied to a rope and that rope is cut. Your wallet's gone. You know, that's the thing. It's like that data that YouTube had, it's all intertwined with Google Plus. So if that communication breaks down between those three things, a lot of things are going to be missing. Like all that data all that interaction between Google Plus, YouTube, Google AdSense will all dissipate. It'll fall apart, and you don't know how they're going to repair it. If YouTube is having such a hard time with fixing their notification issues and YouTube purges, God knows what else is going to happen that YouTube is going to have to fix, and they can't. So that's why I recommend following me on Twitch. That is super important right now. That is super important, because by following me on Twitch, you'll never lose a single stream from me. You will find me there. You won't have to worry about anything being missing, anything being lost. And like Dino and CD is saying, making a Twitch account is just as simple as making a YouTube account. It takes 5 minutes or less. For some that are used to it, it'll take only a minute. For some people. But it takes 5 minutes or less. It's not rocket science. It's really easy. Just as simple as YouTube. So are there any other questions that needs answering? I didn't eat anything. Is there any other questions that someone would like to ask? I'd be happy to answer them. Because this stream is practically, I feel like I answered a lot of that. It's all good, Caffeine God. It's all good, bro. And see, that's the thing. You said the exact thing that I'm trying to, mention, that YouTube will, unfortunately, it will not last forever. It will not last forever. And see, that's the question, Brian. Nobody knows that. There is a high chance that it could happen, but we don't know that. We may not, but we don't know that. There's a lot of things that could be lost. Viewership, active subscribers, your own revenue that you worked hard for, lose all your accounts. You can lose everything. Just because everything is connected to Google Plus. Like, this is Google Plus. Everything is connected to Google Plus. So if Google Plus goes, a lot of these other things may go with it. And if it's not gone, it would be severely damaged. That's all that I know at this point. So as a content creator, I'm doing this video to not only inform viewers, but I'm also doing this to inform fellow content creators that are not completely aware of the potential dangers of this. Like, this is a kind of a dangerous situation. You know what I mean? It's kind of dangerous, especially in terms of like the communities that everyone is built, and the fact that you can lose a lot of it just because Google Plus is separated from it. I mean, there's no guarantee of what could actually happen. So that's why I'm urging you guys to make sure you do that. If you know your favorite content creators have a Twitch, follow them on their Twitch. If you know your favorite content creators, including myself, has a Discord, make sure to follow them on Discord. Follow them on Twitter. Do not rely on YouTube. Do not wholly rely on YouTube. Because if you do and something goes wrong, they may be lost for good. Especially if you don't know where to find them. If you don't know where to find them, then, you know, you're up the creek without a paddle. So that's how it is. Hey, what's going on there, Marco? How you doing, my dude? Welcome to the stream there, buddy. So that's the situation. Dino, I feel like I answered everything. Dino CD, you think I covered everything on that? Because I feel like I have. I really do. I feel like I have. I don't think too many people have a lot of questions. They'll probably look back at the stream or whatever. So I think it's been answered, more or less. But I felt like I did the best that I could to actually share all of this information with you all. And if you haven't seen that video done by Markiplier, make sure you look at that. Okay, the videos are fine. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I should throw that out there. So in terms of creating videos and all of that stuff, that's fine. You'll have all that. But the key thing you want to concern yourselves about is notifications and subscribers. That's the huge issue. I wouldn't be worried about the videos, because Dino brought up a good point. I wouldn't worry too much about the videos. You want to worry more about notifications and still being subscribed to the people that you follow. Or that's the biggest concern. And the fact that many content creators is losing notifications and subscribers because of this merger with, Google Plus. I mean, if Google Plus goes, a lot of other things could potentially go along with it. Yeah, just make sure you watch the broadcast, brothers, because there was a lot of information on there. I think this is like the first time I literally went in on a video like this. I was very nervous doing a video like this. What is up there, Vtox? I see you, my dude. What is good, buddy? Oh, Lord have mercy. Ugly Stewie with that dollar holla. Thank you so much, my dude. Even though this is a super serious stream. Hashtag it up for the homie, Ugly Stewie. Another awesome content creator. And Ugly Stewie, I definitely want
for the super chat. What you got to say to the chat, buddy?
I definitely want you to know about this too, my dude. So make sure to look back at the video when you have the time, just to kind of get a gist of the situation that's going on with YouTube, so that you'll know, you'll be well informed, Oh my God, bro. Listen.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. What you got to say to the chat, buddy?
Dude. Dude. That $2 holla. Oh, my dude, you didn't even have to do that, man. This isn't even the kind of stream that you're hyped about. You guys are too much. Oh my gosh, man. See, you guys are crazy, man. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Brolus and Ugly Stewie. You heard it from all the other guys too. Hey, well, I'm glad you know. Because for me, it's more like, you know, being informative and letting you guys know what's happening. Man, I appreciate you, brother Brolus. But, okay, so I covered everything, I think. Mention what Electro said to Brian. Let's see. It isn't that... Yeah, that is it. That's true. That's true. Electro told Brian, it isn't that people don't turn on the bell. It's just that the notifications don't work properly and people are just unsubscribed for no apparent reason. And that is a huge issue. It happened to me. I told a content creator that I followed that, yo, I've been YouTube unsubscribed. Oh, what the heck, dude? What? Dang. Dude, who did that? It's PC chill. I was not ready. I didn't even have my headset on. Ass hanging up for PC. Electro roasted the ghost girl. Yeah, I know, right, Tara? This PC is crazy. It's OP. And that's another reason why you want to make sure to follow me on Twitch as well, so you don't miss out on crazy stuff like that if something ever happens to YouTube again. One thing that I will say is when it does happen, you know, I've got plans. I got plans, but the biggest thing that I want you guys to know is this is a huge problem. It's a risk. It's dangerous. The moment that content creators cannot give out notifications to their viewers and people are randomly being unsubscribed to them, that's really going to hurt the content creators and they're not going to be able to see you all. And that's why it's so important to do these things. It's vital so that you don't miss out on anything. You know, I hate the fact that I'm in this position where I have to do all of these other things. It's insane, the things that I'm hearing and learning about, and I have to make all of these tough decisions. They're very tough decisions to make, but that's one of the things about content creators. When one is a content creator, there are a lot of things that content creators have to pay attention to and have to be in the know about, because if they don't, or they procrastinate on things or blow it off like it's no problem, it can bite them in the end. You know? So when it, like Dino's saying, if you want to be a content creator, you have to make social media. You cannot just be a YouTuber now. You're not putting yourself in a safe position. You have to expand your horizons and create safeguards, create plan Bs, so that if something goes wrong with YouTube, where it severely cripples your community, you have a backup plan and your community would just be sitting there waiting for you. You know, and I mean, that's the purpose of this video. Like, I have to promote Twitch and let people know that hey, make sure to follow me on Twitch so that you can still see me. And even follow me on Twitter and Discord so you will get constant information. So that just in case you miss something, it'll always be there for you somewhere else. So that's where we're at right now. That's where we at. So it's a dangerous thing. That's the best thing I could tell you right now. I think I've said a lot during this little serious talk. This was a very serious talk, by the way. But see, here's the thing, Ugly Stewie. Here's the thing. It's not a matter of being patient for Twitch, but the thing is, it's a different spectrum. But the more you work with it, the easier it gets. The important thing is moving your community over to Twitch, not necessarily waiting on people to just show up. The reality of Twitch and any other social media platform, anything other than YouTube, is that it's like it's harder for people to find you. That's the thing. It's harder for people to find you on anything other than YouTube. So if you have a community with your YouTube, you want to try to move your community over to Twitch over time so that you will not have that problem. That's the thing that you want to do, you know, as a safeguard. That's why I use it. Like I would tell you this, community, I would tell you this, Stewie. The fact that I did what I did and I promote Twitch and I bring people over from over from YouTube to Twitch, my streams on Twitch are they're pretty decent for what they are. Because I brought my community over from YouTube to Twitch, or at least some of them. And as I continue to try to bring more and more in, you know, they'll be there. And they will not miss out on anything. That's the key. What is up there, Michael Chills? Exactly. And see, that's the thing. YouTube is not really trying. And here's the funny thing. Because of you bringing your community over, when you bring your community over, it's like it creates more action in your chat over at Twitch. And that actually helps increase the probability of you actually getting new people that's more dedicated to Twitch. You think Winston's really sick? Well, I really hope that Winston gets well soon. If you have to be there for Winston, I highly recommend you being there for Winston right now. If that is the case, make sure you take care of your doggo. Make sure you take care of him. He loves you, and I know you love him. Make sure you watch over him. And take really good care of him. What is that, Allie? Yeah, there's a lot to learn, Allie. There is a lot to learn. And, you know, through me and the people that I associate with, you will learn. You will learn. You will most definitely learn. And you have to safeguard yourself. You have to. That is vital. That is very important. Because if you don't, you could set yourself back. And you don't want to do that, because guess what would happen to a lot of those people that don't create a safeguard for themselves? they may wind up quitting, or they might wind up vanishing, vanish from the face of the earth because they can't do it. Everything's been lost. I don't want that to happen to me or anyone else. It's not just about me. It's about everyone else too. But I definitely want to make sure I safeguard myself and share my viewpoint on the matter and let you guys know how crucial this is. And see, that's the thing there, Ali. YouTube did change a lot over the years. It really has. And that's why you have to make sure you're ready for that, because the changes could either be good or bad. And unfortunately, because of this merger with Google Plus, it's been, for the most part, bad all the way around. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Google Plus is the cause. It's not necessarily YouTube. As much as YouTube wants to do something about it, they pretty much can't, because Google Plus controls everything. So Google Plus is like the puppeteer. It's like the puppeteer. So if the puppeteer is no longer functioning, what do you think is going to happen to the strings that the puppeteer controls? YouTube is one of those strings. Google AdSense is one of those strings. Google Drive is one of those things. Google Docs is one of those things. All of those things are strings. So if the puppeteer don't work, everything else is in standstill. That's kind of like another metaphor right there. It ruined it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's tough. But the alternative is basically something like Twitch or Mixer or whatever the other ones are that's well known. Especially Twitch. I mean, Twitch is kind of like the is the big thing, you know? Is like, yeah. I mean, it's not like YouTube was terrible, but it's just that when Google Plus came in, they kind of ruined everything. They got in the way of a lot of stuff. So, I mean, what's there to do? There's not a whole lot of options there. You gotta excuse me, I didn't eat anything all day. Well, depending on the... It's been happening for a while. It has been happening for a while. But the thing that's been keeping me afloat was my wonderful community. That's the thing that has been keeping me alive for this long. It's because of you all. If it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be in a decent position. I wouldn't exist. Like, one of the things that some content creators fail to realize is they don't get popular. I mean, it's true that content creators put in the work, but the reality of the situation is not all just them. It's their community that is what kept them alive. If it wasn't for their community, like, they wouldn't exist. Because what happens to a content creator when, you take away all their subscribers or whatever? They don't exist.
For the super chat.
Oh,
you got to say to
the
chat, buddy.
With the $1 holla. Thank you so much, my dude. And hashtag it up for the homie Broless. So that's the thing. Like, The last thing you want is to be a content creator in the moment that Google Plus is gone, you lose everything. That's why I say armor yourself up. Armor yourself up, man. That you have to do that. I mean, you'll only be holding yourself back if you don't. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now because I really need to stop. I really need to eat. I really need to prepare for the official stream for tonight, which is a Mario Kart stream. Hopefully I have enough. I should have plenty of juice on the Joy-Cons at this point, hopefully. I forgot to charge them again. But they've been charged all week. It's just been off charge since, what, Wednesday? So I'm assuming I should be okay. So, like I said, this wasn't the official stream. I was just doing this because I had to inform you guys of this. The official stream will start in the next 15 to 30 minutes. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to eat, drink a bit of water and stuff, and get myself ready for the stream tonight. Hey, you take care, Brian. Yeah, exactly, Ali, exactly. But I hope this video was very informative. So make sure to follow me on Twitch, and then after you follow me on Twitch, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Discord. Twitch is very important so that in case something happens to YouTube, you'll still be able to find me over on Twitch. Now, my Twitch link is Garbo, I think. I think my Twitch link is Garbo, right? I don't know if it works. Yeah, it sure as heck. Yeah, I gotta change that. So, somebody put the actual Twitch link on here. But I'm gonna go. Thank you, Dino. Dino just sent the correct link. So that's something else I have to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. What is up there, Solid Figure? How you doing, my dude? Welcome to the stream there, buddy. Unfortunately, I'm going to end Solid Figure, but just so that you know, Solid Figure, I will be streaming again in the next 15 minutes or so. So I look forward to seeing you on the stream today. Make sure to stop by again. I'll be live again tonight. So once again, thanks again, everybody, for hearing me out. I know this wasn't the typical stream. I appreciate all the amazing support. Let's see how many people we have. Honestly, I guess I should do a raid. Why not, huh? Why not, since I won't be streaming right away? So what in the world? The Donald stream? We're actually ending though. Oh my god, the Donald raid. Welcome to the stream there, Maxie the Octoboy. Well, thank you for that raid there, Donald. Somebody put Donald's channel link in here. And those of you that are here before that raid, please make sure to follow the homie Donald. He does a lot of Splatoon. I think he still does Fortnite a little bit, but he does mostly Splatoon. Just to let you guys know, he is not family friendly, but don't let that fool you, because he is still a friendly dude. Okay, he's still a friendly person. Just because somebody isn't family friendly does not mean they're a friendly person. So make sure to check him out. I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. So I will see you guys real soon. I will check you guys out. I will see you guys again later. Thanks again for all your tremendous support tonight, and I look forward to seeing you guys again later. And when it comes to life, you know what I say. When it comes to life, take life one jump at a time. You guys have an ultra fantastic night, and I will see you guys later. It's all good, Chris Epic Games. I'll be streaming again in the next 15 minutes or so. No worries there, buddy. I will be seeing you guys real soon. Where's some music up in here? Let's do some what about this, right? Yeah, let's do it, right?